If you live in New York and you don't have a face mask, you're going to need to get one right away. Covering your nose and mouth when out in public is now mandatory starting Friday, thanks to Governor Cuomo's order. You've probably noticed many people already complying, but it seems a lot don't think it's necessary, don't care, or maybe just feel uncomfortable about it. So what's the real reason people go without a mask, even though some docs are saying it can help stop the spread of coronavirus? Let's leave it up to clinical psychologist Dr. Jeffrey Gardere. So, Doc, let's talk about the mask.
I think you're absolutely right with the reasons that you gave, that many people may not be wearing them. But I think it's also a sudden new social normal for people, and therefore they're uncomfortable. They're not ready to change gears. I think some people have a false sense of invulnerability, or some have a flight into wellness where they think just because the hospitals are at capacity and not over capacity, that things are a little bit better. Some people have this fierce sense of independence. We've seen this in different parts of the country where their thing is, you're not the boss of me, you can't tell me what to do. And then there is also a very real problem with the shortages of medical supplies. People have to make their own bandanas and scarves, and there are activists, academics who are of color who are afraid that it might cause some racial profile.
You know, we've seen that in certain spots. So let me ask you, though, culturally speaking, let's face it, the Asian cultures, China in particular, they've been doing this for decades, and yet these viruses are still coming out of China. So I wonder if there's also that sense of people saying, is this really going to help?
People need to understand that it may not keep them from getting COVID-19, but they may be asymptomatic, and therefore they can pass it on to other people if they don't have some sort of a barrier. So this is really about social responsibility. It's not about me, but it's about everyone else. And that's the way we have to really view this thing.
All right, Doc, hang in there a second. We're going to bring in the panel. We are joined by Jeanette Hoffman, Republican strategist. Good to see you, Jeanette.
Thanks, Bill.
And Bill Caruso, Democratic strategist. Bill, I'll start with you on this. Again, culturally, this is interesting because there certainly is a vibrant debate going on. Some medical professionals will tell you, if you don't have a shield and gloves, you're kidding yourself. This is really a false sense of security.
Yeah, I think it's more psychological at some point. When we try to get back to normal, whenever that's going to be, there are going to be some certain things and precautions we're going to have to take into account. And if covering your face is one of them, I think most people will go along with it. We have a mask culture problem in our country. I wore something the other night to go get pizza. I would never think of wearing a hoodie with a mask going into a pizza joint on a Friday night. They think you're knocking it off. And, you know, listen, the doctor mentioned bandanas. For a long time in our culture, people wore these around their heads in Western culture, right? These were the bad guys. So it's changing the culture. We're going to start telling people wearing masks. Good guys wear the masks now, Bill. Good guys wear the masks.
Yeah. Anyway, Jeanette, what are you doing? You're a runner.
Yeah, Bill, I mean, it's not really convenient. It's not fun to run with a mask, and I think we can't even run in our parks anyway. So look, if it's one small thing that most of us can do that will stop the spread of this disease and we can return to normal all that much sooner, I think most of us are on board with doing this one little small thing.
I hear you, Doc and guys, but I will say one of the great things about American culture is we question everything. Thanks.